Season 4 is the shortest season in Fortnite history, and today, Fortnite just revealed the end of chapter live event. But with Season 4 here, that means a new battle pass. To win one from me, it's as easy as dropping a like on the video and commenting your epic ID down below. And as always, remember to pop in code MMCS in the Fortnite Item Shop. What's happening to the 0 point? Who is Kado Thorne? And what's Dr. Slone's big plan for this live event? Well, you've got to see this. The live event for this season is going to be crazy, but to understand the Season 4 live event, we quickly need to travel back to Season 3. At the end of last season, we helped Dr. Slone repair the apparatus along with the explorers to get it up and working. We collected kinetic ore, stole plans, and a ton more. And as the season drew towards an end, the apparatus was showing an incoming eclipse in the sky. Dr. Slone's plan was now simple: bring Kado Thorne to the island. Dr. Slone at first was pretty confused as to why people of this ancient jungle just disappeared. And it turns out that during an eclipse, Kado Thorne, the vampire, would visit the island to steal the villagers' valuables. Hence why there's garlic hanging everywhere in their homes. Vampires don't like garlic, but they decided to move elsewhere and abandon this jungle. Now, with this fresh new knowledge, Dr. Slone knew that bringing Kado Thorne to the island by creating an eclipse would be pretty risky, but meant she had access to something he possessed. The big heist, stealing the time machine. That's the plan. But this isn't the live event, as you'll see in a minute. This is just the season's build-up. Dr. Slone ended up leaving voice notes around the island talking about needing help for a new mission. And originally, we thought these voice notes were for Jonesy. But it turns out, as seen from this trailer, that Kado Thorne actually has Jones trapped in a cell. So these messages left by Slone, it turns out, were left for Nolan and his crew. Slone needs their help in order to do this huge heist on Kado Thorne, so she can use the time machine and to rewrite Fortnite's history before it's too late, because the last reality are on their way. So we're now in Season 4, and this is now our last resort to saving the island. But what's the plan? The 0 point's in trouble, Kado Thorne wants to take over the island, and Dr. Slone is trying to prevent the last reality from visiting. So, who is Kado Thorne? He's a time-traveling vampire collector who loves valuable objects to add to his collection. He's the leader of a group named Eclipse, and you can find them dotted all over the island. And because he's a vampire, he's immortal, and only arrives to the island during the eclipse, because when a vampire is exposed to sunlight, they're weakened or even die. His plan is to make the island his home, plus it has the 0 point, which could give him access to all realities to time travel to. The fate of the island is now at stake, so what's Dr. Slone's new plan, and what will this live event look like? Well, if we jump in game here and head on over to Frenzy Fields, you can actually find out by talking to Nolan Chance, one of the new members who's arrived on the island after Dr. Slone called for his help. Nolan Chance and his crew are expert thieves who have been called in to help us with this big heist. So if we land in here and talk to Nolan Chance, he has special dialogue and says, "A mutual friend told me that you'd be perfect for a heist gig. You know Slone, right? Our target is Kado Thorne, and he has major security that are protecting something important down there." Obviously, he's talking about the time machine we saw in the trailer, which has the ability to travel to any time in history. It's now down to us to prove to Nolan Chance that we're trustworthy to join in with this heist. But there's one problem. There's tension between the heist gang. Go upstairs to Antonia, and she says that her and Nolan are partners, or they used to be after their last job. Nolan bailed on her and left her holding the bag and never apologized. So she's stealing this job from him. This isn't good at all. After proving we're reliable to Nolan by completing some tasks, he says that there's something in Kado Thorne's deepest, best protected vault that Slone wants, and that we need to recruit more talent for this heist. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be collecting parts such as the time machine batteries and doing a ton more work for Nolan Chance and Dr. Slone for this live event that we're going to be talking about in a minute. But first, where is this time machine? Well, it's actually located underneath Eclipse Estates, currently where Kado Thorne is living. So if we jump in game here, you want to head on over towards the vault, because inside this main vault at the back, you may have noticed that there's actually another vault door that currently can't be opened. But this is where things get crazy, because if you jump into replay mode, mode, you can actually see where this time machine's going to be located in this special vault, as the animations for it can already be seen. Will Dr. Sloan use this time machine for good, or will it be too tempting to use it for something else and she ends up using it for bad? This heist will occur around the time of Fortnite, because that is when the next eclipse is going to take place and when Kado Thorne will transform into a vampire boss, which also lines up with the snapshot quests that are going on around that time too. And this takes us on to the live event for this season, the Chapter 4 finale. We're going to be building up to it all season by stealing Kado Thorne's time machine, and luckily for us, leakers have already found in the files stuff to do with this live event, and by the sounds of it, it's going to be huge. First off though, we've got to talk about the 0 point, because it's all going down this season. Hidden away after Zero Fusion is the 0 point. Paradigm rifted in a ton of realities to build a new island to protect it. It's since been left exposed on the surface of the island after part of the island ended up collapsing, leaving us with the jungle biome. And since season 3, the 0 point has pretty much just been chilling it. And by the looks of it, it's not going to end well for the 0 point. Not much has happened to it, but it's sending out groaning distress signals that can be heard across all realities, alerting the last reality of its whereabouts. Leakers last season ended up finding out that the 0 point at some point will be called Zero Lava, hinting that the 0 point is going to be turning into a flaming ball, maybe to protect itself. This then also links in with the hints of the volcano erupting soon in the battle pass, maybe during this live event. Either way, this has got a ton of people excited. And then we've got to take a look at the error skin from last season, because her whole set is based around the ability to time travel, and on her hip an attachment which literally contains part of the 0 point and a clock to do with time. Her skin and emotes are all themed around time, with the time sweeper emote and the ancestral shift emote all featuring the 0 point too. It's all pretty much hinting towards the 0 point maybe being linked with the time travel machine. With the time machine now in Dr. Sloan's hands, let's take a look at what the leakers have found for this live event. It seems like years since our last Fortnite live event. I mean, it quite literally was. And off the back of the Fracture live event, this one's got to be amazing, because it seems like we're only getting one live event a chapter now. Leakers have already found information on the Chapter 4 finale event, and it includes some stuff that will be going on. Firstly, the live event will be happening on the 2nd of December, so not that far off now. And the in-game countdown timer will appear on November the 21st, somewhere on this island where the live event is going to be taking place, probably above Eclipsed Estates. During the event, there'll be 6 different stages or phases. A black hole is going to be involved at some point, and players will be able to use grind rails and switch between them during this live event. With Dr. Sloan in the hands of the time machine, people are speculating that she's going to be using it to go back in time and to rewrite history, restoring order to the island so the last reality aren't even a thing anymore. What do you think's going to be happening?